Look in the mirror, tilt your head slightly downward, and look. Chances are you'll see a restless man, eyes sunken, maybe dark circles, jawline out of whack, a man leaking energy, distracted, chasing, indulging. Now do 60 days of retention with discipline. And look again the same way. You won't see a restless man. You'll see a man who looks rested, disciplined, glowing skin, with hunger, passion, and determination in his eyes. A dangerous man, like a lion glancing at his prey while drinking his water, already calculating his kill. This is what happened when I held my seed for 74 days. What's good? Welcome to Rich Baby Daddy, Poor Baby Daddy. This channel is about transformation that actually shows up in real life. Your body, your discipline, your money, your presence, your purpose, and what you leave behind for your bloodline. And today, I'm not here to preach. I'm here to document. I held my seed for 74 days, the longest I ever went since discovering orgasm and release. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. In order, week by week, the good, the brutal, and the part nobody warns you about. This is my personal experience, not medical advice. If you have health or mental health concerns, talk to a professional. Day 1 through 4, the hardest part. The first 4 days were the hardest. I could feel the energy itching to escape in my lower area. I was restless and irritable, hard to fall asleep. It wasn't poetic, it wasn't motivational, it was primal. My body wanted the old pattern, my mind wanted a quick release, and every hour felt like resistance training. And then, day 5. Day 5, the relief. On the 5th day, I felt a relief from the urges. Not that they disappeared, but the desperation eased, like the storm inside me stopped screaming and started waiting. And that's when the real journey began. Week 2, energy returns. By the 2nd week, I felt more energized. The tiredness in the morning started going away. And something else happened. Something I didn't expect. My cravings for sugar started to fade away. Pastries, refined carbs. That used to be my breakfast. But when the sugar cravings faded, that's when it got easier to practice intermittent fasting. Because I wasn't fighting my brain all morning anymore. I wasn't just retaining, I was regaining control. Week 3, the switch flips. By the 3rd week, the dark circles around my eyes began to slowly fade away. I became more conscious about my posture, more aware of my sleep, my diet, my workouts. I started working out at 4:30 a.m. because my work shift starts at 5:30 a.m. And suddenly I had motivation, real motivation. Something I struggled to have before. My mind felt clearer about my ideas and my goals. And even my eczema symptoms started to slowly go away. My skin would still itch a bit, but not like before. This was bigger than willpower. This felt like a system turning on. So I started journaling. I built a morning ritual because I wanted to take this further. During those 74 days, I produced and published nearly 50 videos across 3 YouTube channels. And that's when I realized something important. Semen retention without a purpose can definitely lead to relapse. Because it's like putting premium gas into your car without ever driving it. That fuel doesn't disappear. It builds pressure. And if you don't direct it, it will direct you. Retention doesn't make you great. Direction does. If you want to go deeper on how to direct your sexual energy, watch my video, How to Use Sexual Energy to Manifest Anything. The link is in the description below. Week 6 through 8, the glow. My skin began to look richer. I began to have a glow. By week 8, I definitely noticed a shift in my facial features when I looked into the mirror in the mornings. Not in some magical way. In a rested, disciplined, sharper way. Like my face was reflecting my habits now. And I added cold showers into my morning routine. This helped a lot with nervous system regulation. But more than that, it built control. Because cold showers teach you one thing. You can stay calm inside discomfort. But here's the part nobody talks about. Somewhere in this stretch, while my body was leveling up, my mind started changing in a way that felt violent. This is when I discovered Carl Jung's shadow work. And I'm telling you right now, if you go into that unprepared, you can walk out worse than you went in. Because the shadow isn't your sad feelings. It's the parts of you refuse to claim. The ugly traits you deny. The impulses you pretend you don't have. The jealousy, the rage, the manipulation, the weakness, the lust, the lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable. And when you're on retention, that energy is amplified. So imagine this. It's early morning. The city is still asleep. I'm up before sunrise, workouts, cold shower, meditation, routine locked in. But then I sit down to journal. And it's like something opens, not a cute aha moment, more like a door in my mind that I didn't know existed, and behind it is everything I tried to outrun. Memories start coming back with teeth, moments I forgot or thought I forgot, suddenly replaying like they were filmed in HD. And it wasn't just memories, it was me seeing myself clearly and not liking what I saw. There were mornings I felt like I was going insane, not crazy in a movie way, but like my mind was tearing down old programming faster than I could replace it. I'd stare at myself in the mirror and think, who the hell have I been this whole time? And that question is dangerous, because once you ask it for real, you can't go back to sleep. Some nights the urge to escape wasn't even sexual, it was psychological. Like my mind wanted relief, any relief, from being forced to confront what I avoided for years. This is why I say shadow work is not for the faint of heart. It requires isolation, because while you're integrating your shadow, you're not the same person for a while. And as the saying goes, the ultimate price you pay for greatness is isolation. You're in between. You're shedding a skin. And that in-between phase feels unstable. It's brutal, because you're watching the old version of you fight for survival. The version that needs validation, the version that chases, the version that reacts, the version that runs to dopamine. And retention makes it worse if you have no purpose, because now you've got premium fuel pouring into a man who hasn't chosen a mission. So if you're gonna do this inner work, be fully intent, because you will be forced to confront your ugly traits. And doing it while retaining can feel like psychological warfare. But if you survive it, you come out with something rare. Self-control that isn't fragile, a nervous system that doesn't fold in chaos, a presence that doesn't beg. After that, I started becoming more present. I stopped doom scrolling. I started reading more, writing more, meditating more. I became more present and aware, and I became more present and more patient with my 4-year-old daughter. That alone was worth the price. I began to see opportunities where others missed, or simply never looked. For instance, I gunned for the management position in the morning, the one that starts at 5:30 a.m. For most people, that shift sounds painful. For me, the hard part wasn't starting early. It was having the discipline to start a full workout at 4:30 a.m. and still show up sharp. That's when I knew. This wasn't just retention anymore. This was identity. Day 70. The body reveals the mind. At around 70 days, my abs began to pop out. I began to see the physique I always dreamed about, the physique I always wanted. And that's when the mirror test became real. Tilt your head downward and look. Before retention, restless man. After 60 plus days with discipline, you'll see a man that looks rested, hungry, determined. A dangerous man, like a lion glancing at his prey while drinking water, already calculating his kill. That's how I felt on day 70. By this time, I stopped smoking weed aimlessly. I smoked with intent. No vapes, no pens, purely flower. A puff or two was all I needed to meditate, get into my thoughts, filter out what served me no purpose, and download what I needed. This is what retention started doing. It made everything either intentional or unacceptable. Around this time, I started receiving a flood of attention from women. And I'm gonna say it like this. There are biological effects unexplained to man in how men and women interact around you. If you're present and aware enough, you can instantly pick up vibes. Women get intrigued. My communication got better. I spoke more clearly and slower. My voice got deeper. And men either respected my presence, envied it, or felt threatened and intimidated. My eye contact became more piercing. Women would look down, often a sign of attraction. And that's when I learned a powerful truth. When you stop leaking energy, people start reading you differently. If you're retaining and you don't have creative work yet, the most purposeful thing you can do is get into shape. Because with that potent energy roaming inside you, what better way to channel it than the gym? This is your best channeling. You'll accomplish a reset nervous system. You'll be calmer in chaos, more grounded. You'll automatically set boundaries to protect your energy and aura. You'll stop being reactive. You'll be more aware of your shadow when it wants to come out. You'll look different, healthier. You'll move with purpose. But be warned, this isn't the end. You're merely beginning your journey. This path comes with tests far greater than anything you were tested with before. Pushing yourself to limits, your aura and attraction will attract everything it can at this level. Women, opportunities that don't align with your purpose, friends that don't align with your purpose. And listen very carefully, this isn't about celibacy, abstinence, and isolation from the world. On the contrary, you must come back out to the world and participate with full consciousness. You're now operating within your highest self. It almost feels like you're playing God. You start predicting behaviors, drawing incredible ideas out of nowhere. Seeing through masks, it becomes a gift and a curse. A gift because you see what most men can't see, and because they're too distracted, chasing, indulging. A curse because it becomes difficult to spot the genuine, the real. One drastic change I developed. During sex, I now work hard to not release. Often I finish with my partner without releasing. That can be both bad and good, which is why I keep saying, everything must have a purpose. Everything must have intent. Welcome to the gift. Welcome to the curse. Welcome to the top. Welcome to the 1%. Welcome to the top of the matrix chain. Now that you're here, it's up to you to decide what you do with this new shift in mindset, perspective, and integrated abilities. Because retention doesn't make you a king. Retention reveals whether you actually have a kingdom to build. If you made it to the end, comment 74 so I know you are really locked in. And tell me where you're at right now. Day 4, day 14, day 60, wherever. Because the goal isn't to be celibate. The goal is to become dangerous with control. You're here to build a legacy, not excuses. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.